be very bad. If it gets to a point where TSA workers have to choose between, am I going to feed my children, put gas in my car, or come to work because they're without a paycheck, that's definitely going to affect the way that passengers travel throughout the nation.
Federal employees could be working over the holidays without pay if the government shuts down tonight.
Lawmakers have just a few hours now to pass that spending measure. Live look there at the Capitol. They have overcast skies in D.C. A last-ditch vote on a GOP measure backed by President-elect Donald Trump actually failed last night.
CBS 8's Chris Groh is live in Coronado. This shutdown could potentially impact San Diegans here, Chris.
Yeah, we're talking about tens of thousands of federal workers. We're talking about, of course, as we know, military town, especially here in Coronado. Many of those that are essential could be continuing to work without pay. That also includes the TSA. We know the Regina Yarita is over there at San Diego International Airport. A lot of headaches for travelers there. There could be even more if there are TSA workers who decide not to show up for work because they won't get paid if there is a government shutdown. Then, of course, the $250 million that was promised for the South Bay wastewater treatment plant, that could be in jeopardy as well, too. Here's more from our congressional delegation.
Know that if it doesn't happen as part of this deal, it could be several years before we get the opportunity to do it again. So just add that to the list of things that are so critically important in this deal. I've never seen anything like it where an unelected billionaire, in fact, the richest person in the world, dictates the terms to the Republicans in the House and the Senate.
And that was Congressman Mike Levin there talking about the possibility of that funding for the wastewater treatment plant going away if there is indeed a government shutdown. Now, here's what we need to know. There was a bipartisan agreement that was scrapped after billionaire Elon Musk actually tweeted out his distaste for that bill. So after that was killed, Republicans put together a physically smaller bill without Democratic input, 116 pages compared to the original 1,500. It included reduced spending in some areas, but some of that reduced spending has met backlash, like funding for childhood cancer research that was killed. But there was a key political point here. It would push the debt limit to January 30th of 2027, which many theorize the Republicans want to do now to help Trump with his plans for tax cuts. It did draw support from Musk and Trump. However, it failed to pass as dozens of Republicans voted against it. Even if it did pass, the Senate was unlikely to pass it, the president unlikely to sign it. Now, the House Freedom Caucus member said this morning that as of 10 a.m., they do have they do have plans to call Congress to session for a vote, but had no details of the plan. We know that many of them had been meeting with Vice President-elect J.D. Vance. Here's House Speaker Mike Johnson yesterday saying he still believes a deal can be struck.
The difference on this legislation was that we would push the debt ceiling to January of 2027. We will regroup and we will come up with another solution.
Now, I want to read to you some key points here that are being made on Capitol Hill. Representative Anna Paulina Luna, who's in that House Freedom Caucus, told reporters that they would be that vote at 10 a.m., but said that they would not be cutting deals with Democrats, that they are going to work it out, but still believe that they can do so and that they would get Democratic votes even without their input, something that's not likely to happen. They do need Democratic votes in order to make this happen. Now, we also know, of course, that Musk, Trump, all of the key power players continuing to watch to see exactly what will happen. Midnight tonight, East Coast time, is the deadline to avoid a government shutdown. Eric and Netta?
Yeah, a lot of people will be watching that very closely. And Chris, we know you're staying on top of it. Thank you for that. President-elect Donald Trump just posted this on Truth Social saying if there is going to be a shutdown of the government, let it begin now under the Biden administration, not after January 20th under Trump. This is a Biden problem to solve, but if Republicans can help solve it, they will.